feeling good. I know we're all looking for pens. If you have a pen in your purse, let us know. We're scrounging for pens. Oh, perfect. I don't know what we need them for. Everybody was looking for a lot of pens. Oh, look at that. Ask and you shall receive. She said, I got 3 pens. Yay, wonderful. Who should we give the pens to, Leslie? To give them to Leslie? If you want them back, remember which ones are yours. Yay, perfect. Look what can happen when we all come together. Okay, and when you are ready, please stand as you are able so we can sing I Can See Clearly Now. The rain is gone, as for right now. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Second verse. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Let's go back to the first verse. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
I'm hoping that microphone wasn't on while I was. You didn't have it on, did you? Bless you. The things you don't want to hear on a Sunday morning when you got up early or late. What time is it really? It's whatever we say it is, right? If you set your clock ahead, great. If you set your clock behind, we'll see you soon. And no matter what time it is, it's the perfect time to be here and now with yourself, in your divine awareness, in the realization of the one presence and one power that is the reality, is the truth of our life, of our living, of our being, of our expression. One presence, one power, we say. One presence, one power, not 2, not 20, not 1,000,000. One presence, one power in a multitude of expressions and wonderful ways of being. Life is not about sameness. Life is about the constancy of the unfolding good within our lives, even in the face of challenge. And so it is on a Sunday morning in May, March, April, January, whatever month we call it, whatever day we call it, whatever year we call it, there is one presence and one power, God the good, omnipotent, all power. No matter where we are in the state of our lives, no matter what our experiences are today or yesterday, or what they will be tomorrow, there is one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, the good, omnipotent, all power. In the face of all challenge and change, in whatever year, in whatever form, there is one presence and one power, God the good, omnipotent, all power, everywhere present, all wisdom, within and without, and when we recognize it, we find ourselves in the flow of the living presence. We stop questioning everything. Why, what, when? And we begin to allow ourselves to flow in the awareness that wherever we are and whatever day it is, there is but one presence and one power active in your life and in mine. And that's the basis upon which unity stands. That in a multitude of expressions, there is but one presence and one power. And when we know that to be true, it gives us that which we hold on to for stability, in right order, in harmony with that which we cannot always see, but we can always know to be true. So today I greet you in that warm and loving spirit of unity, in that spirit of oneness, in that spirit of recognition that the presence is present in your breath, in your heartbeat, in your body, in your mind, and in your life, and in the lives of those who are a part of your life, whether in resistance or whether in acceptance. We greet all people wherever they may be, for we acknowledge that we are one family. We wear different clothing, we speak different languages, but we are one family. We have different ideas, and yet still there is but one presence and one power, God the good, at work in the midst and through it all. So we welcome you here on this Sunday morning. If you're online, thank you for your presence. Thank you to Deidre for filling in the first Sunday I was away. Thank you to Steve and Cleo for last week, for creating the service and being present for all of you. It's incredible to be able to think about and realize, oh, I could call Deidre, or I'll call Steve and see what he says. Can he handle? Is he ready for the whole thing? And of course he said yes. And so then that night, Sunday night, he became unwell with the same flu that I've had for the last 3 weeks. And he was grateful that he hadn't done a lot of mingling, huggy, touchy stuff to help preserve the well-being of the whole. I can tell you this honestly and truly. It's a time when masking, getting back to your hand sanitizers would be very helpful. This particular flu is not prevented by our flu shots this year, and it's radical from the standpoint of how quickly it moves. So if I'm not saying that illness is a reality, what I'm saying, if it came to your door and visited you, you would not enjoy your time away from the world. So just take good care and mask and crowds, and be sure you wash your hands frequently. use your little hand sanitizers. You can say, I don't believe in medicine, I don't believe in doctors, I don't believe in all of this stuff. But I can tell you that there's a reason. I remember Charles Fillmore's statement so clearly when he said, first go to God and then go to man as God directs. First go to God and then go to man as God directs. He was saying we might believe that illness is not a reality, but if you're having it, it feels pretty real. So anyway, be careful and wash your hands. That's all I've got to say about that. This Sunday begins our preparation for Easter. It's coming on quickly. It's the first Sunday in April. And I saw that, Dee, you already had an announcement out about the creating the bonnet party on March 27.
It's on a Friday. The announcement said Saturday, but it is a Friday.
Friday at 1:30, from 1:30 to 4. Is that what I read? And Dee would like to know if you're going to participate.
Do you know how many glue guns and
On Tuesday called A Healing Space. Then on March 17th is St. Patrick's Day. Our annual meeting and potluck Sunday is on March 22nd. Annual meeting, potluck Sunday. Potluck Sunday is normally the last Sunday of the month. I don't know if the 22nd is the last Sunday or not. I didn't think so. But we're changing the plans so that we can have our annual meeting. In your bulletin this morning or somewhere on your path, you found a membership application. You say, I've done this before. I don't need to do this. I'm a member. I don't need to do this. Well, you do. Our bylaws, we spent a lot of time last year working on bylaws. Our bylaws say that we need to recommit as members annually. To retain voting membership rights, members must indicate a desire to remain a voting member by completing and returning this form to the church. It's an annual current membership renewal form. See it that way. Fill it out after the service. Is it online? Maybe it's online. It's not online. But we'll have them available the day of the meeting, which will be on Sunday the 22nd. So anyway, you got to just check the little box. And you say, why do I care? I hope you care enough about being a member to appreciate that that's part of how we run this place. It's one of the rules for operation. Palm Sunday is on March 29th, and Easter is on April 5th. So here we go, and my trees are in bloom all over LaConner. I didn't see a single snowflake this winter. Not one, well, not visible to my eyes, but the trees are blooming and they're eager for this new life experience. Sam, are you my daily word reader this morning?
Well, I'm happy to do it.
I would love it.
Is anybody else here to do that?
Was somebody? I had your name on the list today.
Okay.
People switch.
I haven't even looked at it.
Well, here you go. You'll love it. I bless the divine feminine
Oh.
in myself
Yes.
and in all others.
Oh, wonderful. You know, I don't know when the exact day is, but somewhere around now is International Women's Day. I don't know if you
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Well,
This weekend.
somewhere on Earth, it's International Women's Day.
We'll honor it.
Sunday, March 8th, 2026. I bless the divine feminine in myself and in all others. Today is International Women's Day, a time to celebrate women's achievements across societies and cultures. It is also a time to celebrate the divine feminine, which blesses all people. When I honor the divine feminine, I am recognizing God as love, compassion, and understanding, aspects that are present in everyone. The world is blessed by the contributions of those who embody the divine feminine in their words and actions. From the steeliness of protection to the softness of comfort and nurturance. I give thanks for the girls and women in my life as I lift up and celebrate the divine feminine in its many expressions. I affirm the divine feminine awakens and expands in my heart and blesses and prospers all life. And from Proverbs 31:31, give her a share in the fruits of her hands, and let her works praise her in the city gates.
Thank you. Thank you. See, you're the perfect one to read that. Thank you. The Daily Word, friends. I don't know if any of you subscribed to the Lenten booklet from Unity. You know, you can download things on unity.org, the headquarters website, that are wonderful resources. But the Lenten booklet is about reimagining. I can reimagine everything in my life. I can reimagine. I can assign new and different characteristics to it. I can see it from a different perspective. I can see it in a way that's new and can yield positive benefit. So if you haven't seen it, you can go to the unity.org website and download it for free. All the resources, or many of them, are free for your use. And the Daily Word is, of course, our gift that Unity has published for forever, 100 and many years, way more than we would imagine. And the Daily Word is always available for you for sale on our guest table, as is the prayer box, so that our prayer ministers can pray with you. And having said all of those things, I'm happy to see you. I'm happy always to see you. Jennifer, it's lovely to see you. It's been a long time. Our Peace Be Still is the work of Jennifer, and it is always a testament to you every time we look at that. And there's Jennifer. Nice to see you back. So let's prepare for our meditation time and consider reimagining.
Okay, so this is kind of a newer one, so I'll sing it through once, and then if you want to join me. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. Join me, please. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. Now you're here to remind me. You're here to remind me of my magnificence, to help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved.
That's new. What a great turnaround. Everything we have to share. The love we receive, the goodness in our lives, the way we move and live and have our being. We're here to share. We own nothing and everything. And in that, everything is freely moving in us and through us at all times, moving in us and through us and returning to us over and over again. And so in the stillness of this moment, I remember that I am at one with all love. I am at one, I am centered in the presence of pure, undifferentiated love, just as I am, just where I am. We are loved. Jesus' words with an everlasting love. To receive the gift of divine love is simply to breathe and relax and allow. To breathe, to remember, and to allow. For the presence of love is the very fiber and fabric of which you are woven. the cells of your body flow in harmony with the movement of divine love. The muscles, the tissues, the bones, the very structure of your being is woven of divine love. And we allow that movement of love to hold us together, that all aspects of our being would flow in accord with that perfect harmony, that perfect order. I am filled with the light of pure love. It moves from source and saturates my entire being. I am saturated, filled to overflowing with the presence of pure love. With your breath, and with letting go, you simply allow it to be so. I am child of God. My body and being, my mind, my heart, my spirit are at one with the living presence of God. Never separated, never alone, never abandoned, never forgotten. The power of this pure love is the very breath and life and reality of my life. And no matter where I walk, and no matter what I face, I live in the constancy of this pure and perfect love. Today, with a moment, just a moment of thought, I allow my whole self to be filled and overflowing with this everness of love. An everness, a foreverness. May your power of love be the light that illumines my mind as I walk and talk and think and speak and act. May the power of your love guide my hands and my heart, that I might serve with gratitude and in the sharing of this pure gift of unconditional love. May the power of your love be present within this body as it always is, healing, illuminating, transforming, mending, raising, lifting. I allow that love is my nature, that love is my guiding light, that love is my reality. May this love enfold and embrace you, guide you and give you strength. And so it is. Amen.
Stay gentle, keep the eyes of a child. Don't harden your heart or your hands. Know to find joy in the darkness is wise, although they will think you don't understand. Don't let the world make you callous. Be ready to laugh. No one's forgotten about us. There is light on your path. Stay gentle, keep the eyes of a child, and wear your heart on your sleeve. Know to find joy in the darkness is wise, although they will think that you are naive. Oh, don't let them lower your shoulders. Love them more while they try. Grow younger while you're growing older. Be amazed by the sky. Oh, darling, stay wild if you can. Oh, the girl with the world in her hands. The kingdom of heaven belongs to a boy, while his worry belongs to a man. Stay gentle, stay gentle, the most powerful thing you can do. Oh, gentle, unbreakable you. Oh, gentle, unbreakable you. Thank you. Thank you.
never heard that before.
That's a song by Brandy Carlisle. We
I
love
love
Brandy.
Brandy
And me
Carlisle.
too.
Yeah.
And I love that we sang it was going to be a bright, sunshiny day, and the sun just kept coming through the window.
We're powerful beings. Nice, huh? Little sunshine, beautiful music, friends, people who care about you, people who smile when they see you because they know who you are and are so happy that you're part of the world where we live and move and have our being. In July of that year that I spoke here for the first time, John Kelly had been in conversation with a woman who placed ministers at that time at Unity Village. System was a little less complex than it is now, but her name was Joanne Landreth. And yesterday I was in the midst of doing long distance texting with someone, and a message came through. Joanne Landreth, just wanting to know how you're doing. Are you still doing ministry? She said, because we were at Unity Village at the same time. She was working for the ministers in residence at that time. Their names were Sig and Janie Paulson. They were very well-known Unity ministers. We have an incredible heritage of teachers and leaders and people of history whose names later people to Unity wouldn't have known, but people who were pioneers in thought. And I was reading something this week by Neville Goddard. Anybody ever read Neville Goddard? No. He was a very famous minister, New Thought minister and mystic in California, in the LA area, back in the 50s. And those early pioneers in ministry, he and Emmett Fox would have been of the same generation, having incredible impact in what became what we all call the New Thought movement. Neville Goddard was, he wasn't a Unity person, but he was all about consciousness and consciousness creating. Consciousness creates. And that consciousness, or what we call the one presence and one power, God, is the one reality. That all manner of things show up in that one reality, but there is one essential presence, power to all of life in its expression here and now and always. And individuals who caught the vision of that, early pioneers in Unity and in other traditions, the Emma Curtis Hopkins and the early pioneers in the teachings of what we call New Thought, they had an insight into a fundamental way in which everything fits together. There's nothing apart from the wholeness of what we call the allness or the oneness. There's nothing divided from that. We may not like the particular expression or agree with the way in which utilization of this divine consciousness is being manifested. We may not agree with it at all. But if we say there's only one presence and one power, who are, well, 100 names come to mind right away. Who are we going to leave out? Well, that's not it. Well, that couldn't be it. Well, um, that's not part of the one presence and one power. Um, I don't like this. That's not in. That's out. That's out. That's not in. Um, we edit. We edit all the time with this brain into what we call separation consciousness. We edit um, our world. When we look at the third dimensional world, we edit it and we separate things into baskets because we try to figure out what does it mean if there's only one presence and one power and it's good. What does that mean when we're up against things that are not good, that don't feel good, that are painful, that are um, unbearable in many ways, things we witness that we say are not of that. But how do we as new thought folks or people who are seeking um, answers to questions like that, how do we come to resolution? How do we come to peace? How do we come to a place where we understand that we're not all going to agree? There may be one consciousness. There may be one true reality. But within that is free will. And we're all expressing free will in accord with our understanding, with our way of seeing and thinking and believing. One consciousness, one presence, one power. Utilized by the exercise of free will and imagination and the power of perception and the way I see and the way I think and the way you see and the way you think. No two of us see the same thing the same way. No two of us, truly, we're as rare as snowflakes falling. No two the same. And yet all of one presence and one power. How can I make sense of that when I have such feelings of resistance to things that seem abhorrent or painful or wrong? How can I find a place in consciousness mind where I can hold space for realization that because we have free will, we have the power to perceive each in our own way. So it's a day. Jesus is on the trail again. He's been out doing healing stuff and gaining a following, gaining a following. So it's after the feeding the 5,000 or 50 or however many it was. And the miracle of loaves and fishes, and he's been out watching the disciples in their fear and in their sense of they come up constantly against their sense that things are not going to work out okay. They constantly live in that state, as do human beings for the most part, that things are not going to work out okay. That, yeah, there was that big thing that happened over there with those people, but today's a new day and it doesn't have carryover. It doesn't seem fluid. It doesn't seem to move from one event to the next. And he's broken away from them for a while. He's like, enough already. I'm going on my own. You all catch up whenever you can. you know. I'm just gonna go. And as it happens, he's he's right at the edge of Samaria with the Samaritan people who are enemies of the Jews, basically, certainly not accepted. Another group. So understand that in that time, if that time really existed, there were all these different tribes and factions still operating, and different landowners and people who had different rights to the land. So it wasn't a welcome place for him to be, and he really wasn't about that. He didn't care. He was simply following his feet, moving in the direction of his guidance. And he came to a well. It was called Jacob's Well, an ancient well. And it was the middle of the day, and it was very hot. And people weren't out in the middle of the day because it was really hot. You got up early, you did your work, and then you quieted for a period of time, and in the evening again. And as would happen, there was a woman drawing water at the well, a Samaritan woman, and he said to her, what are you doing? And she said, I'm drawing water. And he said, it's the heat of the day. And she said, I'm outcast. I'm not allowed to be with the other women when they come to draw. So she's very much in a consciousness of separation. She's in that state of thinking that life isn't working for her very well. And he said, well, I'm thirsty. Could you give me a drink? And she said, I don't know who you are, but asking a Samaritan woman for water is really not acceptable. And he said, if you know who I am, if you knew who I was, I would give you living water. Do you remember that? I would give you living water. If you knew who I was, I would give you living water. I've always thought about living water, what that meant. And what it meant was, I would give you that power of life, the power to create, the power to be whole, the power to realize who you are. Living water, the realization that you're not limited by your circumstances. And he said to her, well, where's your husband? And she said, oh, I've had 5 husbands, which is why she's outcast. Nobody wants to be where she is. The woman said to him, sir, you have no bucket and the well is deep. Where do you get that living water? Where do you get that living water? Are you greater than our ancestor Jacob, who gave us the well, and with his sons and his flocks drank from it? And Jesus said, everyone who drinks of this water will be thirsty again. But those who drink of the water that I will give them will never be thirsty. The water that I give will become in them a spring of water gushing up to eternal life. If you knew who I was, if you recognized the power that moves through me, you too would recognize within yourself this power of what he called living water. You would recognize in yourself that same power, that same force that's not dependent on a bucket or a glass or some instrument of measurement. You would feel in yourself the power that lives and moves and has being and expression in and through you, and in and through your, what we call consciousness, your creative capacity to bring to life the power within you and bring it forth into manifestation to meet your needs, to resolve or to shift or to bring forth an awareness that lives in you like a reality, as a truth. It would become a living reality, not I have it today, I lost it. Or I had it last week, but I don't have it now. This power of the living expression of the presence and reality of the one truth that is the truth of your being. If you could accept that, receive it, bathe in it, live in it, accept it as true, you would know something the nature of which would transform you forevermore. You would know your source. You would know the power. You would never be thirsty again. Those who drink of the water that I give will never be thirsty. The water that I give will become in them a spring of water. Become in them, imagine, becoming in you a spring of water, gushing up to eternal life, gushing up to eternal life. That you are that kind of a vessel, that you are that kind of a being, that you are that kind of a manifest reality with a power in you, not for force or manipulation, but a power that's always arising in you to be that which loves, that which guides, that which inspires, that which creates, that which manifests. The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water so that I may never be thirsty or have to keep coming here to draw water. I've been drawing this much when I could have it all." The great Eric Butterworth said, we have this eternal force, this infinite resource within us, and we take a thimble or we stand on our own hose and impede the flow, or we take a cup, or we take what? A vessel of some sort, and we believe that that's all that's available to us, when in fact, this living water he's speaking of, this power of the truth within us, is an infinite flow and force. And we discover that we don't have to take a little bit of divine life or goodness, that we could be satisfied with just a little bit, that in fact we're inheritors of it all. The kingdom is ours for the drinking, for the bathing, for the releasing, for the empowering, for the reimagining of how we see ourselves and our life and our world. This business of reimagining. I can perceive life like from a thimble, that much perception, oh, I believe. Or I can increase my capacity by changing the perception of what's really available to me. What's really available to me. What's really available to me, not that little taste, but the whole feast, the whole kingdom. Does that mean, what does that mean? What would that look like to say, I don't ever have to be thirsty again? Divine resources always pouring, and my cup overflows with divine grace, with divine opportunity, with divine possibility. So there's a block somewhere Butterworth is talking about when we don't bring our awareness forward to see that we're standing on our own hose. He's talking about there you are wondering why there's no water, and if you bring your awareness to the moment, insight, your own sense of what's going on, you'll see you're standing on your own hose. How do you see that? You see that through your perception. You notice how many limitations we put on us because someone says something, or because the money people say something, or because life as we've known it seems to be limited, or somebody has taken something away from us that we feel entitled to, or it's limitless. And we say this divine pouring forth of the one presence of all truth is limitless. How much can I allow that to be true for me? The second story that today that came through was the one about he's out there again. He's just out there, and he's in a house that's full of people, teachers and people who want to be healed, and it's a little house and it's full of people, and suddenly they hear a noise from above because some guys are bringing a paralyzed man to him for healing, but they can't get through the door and they can't get into the room because it's full. Full room, full room, full room, full room, full room, full house. What? Full of yesterday's thoughts, tomorrow's worries, next week's fears. Full of what I think that I always think that I always think. Full of, they can't get in. Somebody wants healing. Somebody is coming. Well, his friends want him to be healed. We don't know why that is. His friends want him to be healed. They're bringing him on a pallet. He can't walk. But the house is full. I want healing. You want healing. We want healing. We want healing for our planet. We want healing for our world. We want healing for ourselves. We want healing for our families. We want healing. We're hungry. We're thirsty. We want resource. We believe on some level that that's available for us. But the house is full. Can't get in. Can't get in. Where do you go? Where do you go? You go to the roof, huh? Where do you go? You go to the roof. You go to the high place. You go, if you're all full here, go to that higher state. What happens in that higher state? They remove the roof. His friends remove the roof of the house, and they lower him. They've been carrying him somehow, and they lower him right in front of Jesus. And he says to them, wow. Ooh. Whoa. They went up on the roof and let him down with his bed through the tiles into the middle of the crowd in front of Jesus. And he said, "Man, your sins are forgiven." Whatever brought you to this moment in time, whatever you think is wrong with you, whatever you think your limitation is, whatever you think your blocks and barricades are, you are free, you are free, you are free. And then the teachers and the scribes who had great knowledge began to protest about it. And he turned to the man and he said, "I say to you, stand up and take your bed and go to your home." And immediately the man stood up before them, took what he had been lying on, and went to his home glorifying God. And the people who were gathered said, "We have seen strange things today." We have seen strange things today. I love biblical interpretation. We have seen strange things today. Did they get it? Did they get that there was a power moving in that moment? That was not just for one man on a pallet, not for just one man in the room or one. There were no women in that room, I can guarantee you that. Did they get it? We've seen strange things today. We've witnessed miracles and not realized they were for our benefit. We hear stories, we see every day amazing things happening. Not just awful things, amazing things, miraculous things. And we say, "Oh, that one, or this one, or someone." But we're saying today, no, for our benefit, that there's anything that can penetrate us to see and claim and own this power that is available to us infinitely and eternally. Because we are that power in reality. We are that power, that presence, that consciousness. Jesus was that. You are that. I am that. We are that. A thimble, a cup, a gallon container. How much will we allow ourselves to bear witness to this living water that's within us, this limitless reality of consciousness available, simply for a shift in our thoughts, simply for a different realization or a reimagining from fear to possibility, from seeming walls into that infinite, eternal expression of God that's happening everywhere, even in the unseen places. I love these stories. I love being able to interpret them in the way I want to. I love having the freedom to explore a story and see something like we saw strange things today. How many times do we say we saw miracles today? We saw miracles today that remind us of the infinite possibility. at work within us and around us. I can shift my perception. I can shift what I perceive. I can shift the way I see something and change everything in a breath. Not out there. I don't know about out there. I know in here. So many possibilities remain untapped when my mind is distracted by everything out there that's so dismal that I forget to remember where the power is. And in this moment, where the mind, Rabindranath Tagore, famous native, received a Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms toward perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. Let my country awake. Again, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms toward perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. Let my country awake. My country. Let my country awake. But we're called not to sacrifice these things in ourselves while we wait for our country to get it, for reason to penetrate, for the world to be different. I must find that heaven of freedom beyond fear within this house, within this room, and within this life. Unto us this day, a good work is being accomplished. Don't miss it. A good work is being accomplished. Don't miss it. It's yours. It's come for you. Blessings in all directions, we say. Let's share our tithes and love offerings. And let's do so in that spirit of limitless awareness. Unless we can believe in limitlessness, we will always be coming up against our walls of limitation. When we can start to entertain the idea of limitless abundance being our resource, we can stop being afraid of what we might not, what we cannot, what we really shouldn't be doing and thinking. Ted and Dee just came back from a glorious time in Sedona. And you sent me pictures, and I was really sick. And I really needed to see that kind of astonishing beauty. But what you were saying about it was the incredible awareness of abundance on every level of being, spiritually, the beneficence of it all. And I looked at it and I thought, there's healing in that. There's healing in that. Just that moment, that witness, wherever you find it, causes you to remember once again that limitation is a mental concept, not a divine reality. How blessed we are. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature, and so it is.
Follow, follow the sun, and which way the wind blows when this day is done. Breathe, breathe in the air. Set your intentions, dream with care. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. A brand new moon, a brand new sun. So follow, follow the sun, the direction of the birds, the direction of love. Breathe, breathe in the air. Cherish this moment. Cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. A brand new moon, a brand new sun. When you feel life coming down on you like a heavy weight, when you feel this crazy society adding to the strain, take yourself to the nearest waters and remember your place. Many moons have risen and fallen long before you came. So which way is the wind blowing? What does your heart say? Follow, follow the sun, and which way the wind blows when this day is done. Breathe, breathe in the air. Oh, set your intentions, dream with care. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. A brand new moon, a brand new sun. day for everyone. A brand new moon, a brand new sun. Thank you.
We, the big guy in the back fixed it. You fixed it. You were on it. So, baby with grandma? It wouldn't be a complete day without her, would it? We need babies. It helps. Mm. I I I have a friend who found a puppy um, online. Puppy. There she is. Hi, little one. Anyway, something went wrong with getting the puppy delivered to Seattle, and so she hopped on a plane and went to Kansas City and drove 3.5 hours to get this puppy. And I wrote to her and said, just like that. And she said, yeah, just like that. It was mine to do. That, just living that way. Of course, it was mine to do. Yeah, yeah, and you too. And it's yours to do. Yeah, how are you? She speaks my language.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Hi, you.
Lesson next Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Of course you would say that. And did you need any more than that today? Oh, I know. You're the best. You're the best. Can we bless you?
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Child of light, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. Yay! Oh, you too cute. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay! All right, y'all. Have a week and know you are so blessed. Let's sing our peace song.